All right, guys, this is our 2020 to 2025 GM LED door handles. This fits the 1500s, the 2500s, the 3500s, the Silverados, the Sierras, even the SUVs will fit those as well. All the trucks, all the SUVs, these handles fit it. So I'm gonna go over all these parts with you right now, and then we'll go to the install video. But right now, so what you'll get is, so when you order your door handles, and if you choose the plug and play harness, you're gonna get everything you see here. You're gonna get all these handles, all the wires behind it, which are these 4 end caps, 2 long harnesses with a bunch of connectors on it, 4 extension wire harnesses. This is 4 together. And then you'll get these as well. You'll actually have 2 of these, and I'll show you the other ones connected on here. So how this is gonna work is, if you do not choose the plug and play harness, you're just gonna get the handles and those, and you'll just have to straight wire these 3. I do highly recommend the plug and play harness. It makes your life a lot easier, and the install is a lot cleaner. But let's talk about whenever you're doing the plug and play harness. So what you're gonna do is, this will plug into your headlight, and then you'll run this. Well, I'll go to this one. I put that connector. You'll not have a connector on there, so you'll either run this, you'll either run it through your firewall, or you can run it down underneath your truck and through your floor. There's 2 different ways to do it. The firewall is a little harder to do, just to get through that firewall it is. But other than that, once you get it through there, then you're gonna take this connector right here, and you're gonna pin it on your harness like that. So you're just gonna go 1, 2, 3. Make sure you get the colors right. How to know if you get your colors right? You just plug it in there, and the yellow goes here, black goes in the middle, red goes over here, and you just push them up as far as you can get it. Once you get it, then you lock it down there. We'll go into more detail about all this as we're installing it, but this is pretty much everything you should get right here. All right, so the first step that we want to do is get one of these 2 harnesses here. It don't matter which one. One's longer than the other. That's for if you go into the firewall side. If you're going under the truck into the floor, the second option, then it don't matter which one you do. But if you do go through the firewall, you want the longer one on the passenger side, which we're going to do that. So you're going to take this harness here. You're gonna pull your headlights out to do this, or you could reach back here and just unplug it. You don't have to pull your headlights out, I guess. We just got this one apart already. You're gonna just plug this connector into the black connector, make it tight, and then this will plug straight into your headlight, which we'll do that just here in a second. This has an extra lead coming off of it for a grill light. Disregard that unless you want a grill light. And then all this right here is what you're gonna run, and it's your choice, through the firewall or over the fender, under the truck, into the floor, which you'll see where we come out at, and that's where we're gonna run it today. Now that you have the main connector plugged up, you're gonna take the end of this and we're gonna fish it all through here, okay? So, you're gonna fish it right through here, okay? And you're gonna bring it up, and then there's a metal plate right here next to the fuse block. You can either go right through there, so you can zip tie it to this wire, which I think is what we're going to do. Pull all my access out, and then we'll go around this bracket on the fuse. Well, this ain't the fuse block. This is the battery. I'm sorry. Go around this bracket. You need that light more on it?
No, I can see.
It's just going to give you a nice clean install in here doing it this way. Of course, you could just throw it over everything, but it's going to look like crap. Then once you get that going, you're going to take it. You want to get around this battery terminal right here. It don't matter where you get it, just get it around it. I'm just getting the extra wire out of the way and show you where to run it to next after that. All right, get this right here. So I'm gonna take this, I was hoping to push it right past that battery terminal. That way it drops down. We don't want it nowhere near it. Let it drop down. And then, can you get this right here? So way down in there, you'll see some aluminum looking wires or whatnot. You want to get on the outside of the frame with this, and then we can adjust it down there, but this is where you want to guide it towards it. You want to get it as close to the fender as you can, and on this side of the frame, on the outside of the frame. Pull it. We got a lot. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep on going. Hold on. Hold on. We have a wire ran from our engine bay underneath the truck. The next step would be to get underneath the carpet on here, okay? So what you want to do is you're going to pop this panel off right here on the side of the truck, or the side of the chair, and then you're going to pop this one off, which really it just pops up here and then pulls back, and it's ready. Then after that, all you do is pull up your carpet right here, and once you got your carpet up, you'll have 3 little holes right here. They're just little plastic tabs that are seam sealed on there. So pretty much the one right here in the middle, the top right one, we're going to just drill a hole straight down and then run our wire up through. So you're just going to take your drill bit, you're going to put it right here in the middle, let her eat. Just take no time, probably clean off them birds a little bit. There you go, get the trash out of there. And then now we're just going to run our wire up through there. Now, once you ran it up through there, that's pretty much with this right now. Now what we want to do is put our door handles on and get our extensions ran. Then after that, we'll just connect everything, and then we'll go back and zip tie all the loose ends of everything so nothing's loose and rattling around, hanging around, and then pretty much we'll be done with this. We're going to start next with taking off the door panel, and then how to put the door handle in there and run your wires through your door as well. This next step to take apart the door panels, you're just going to need a T20, 7mm, extension of any size, a ratchet, or electric impact, and a pick. All right, holder. So the first step is we're going to pull all these. We're going to pull this up, use the pick, pull this up. And there's going to be 2 7mm in that. We're going to pull that out. And then down here, you're going to have 1 7mm. And then after that, the door panel just has a bunch of clips holding it in. We're just going to pop it off, okay? You've really got to use some force to pop these off. You're going to feel like you're going to break it, but you're not. All right, now back here, you'll have this piece, which is your, how you open your door. It's a cable. So there's going to be a little tab right there. You're just going to push it down, pull back, go over, lift it up, done. And then right here, you're going to have a harness. Red tab, like on all GM connectors down there. And you're going to push it in, just like so. Pull it out. You're going to have another connector here, out. Comes right on out, and we're done. Now this is the rear door. Their front door is pretty much the same. I think maybe this connector may be a tad bit different, but same thing. Just pull the little red or white tab out. Then you'll have, that's your locking tab, and then you'll have your regular tab you just push down, pull out, and you're done. Simple as can be. And your lock and unlock rod, just hang it back up there. Now that we got both door panels off, we're gonna go ahead and pull these door handles off and put the new ones on. This can go very easy, or it can be a little frustrating at the same time, and hopefully we can show you both ways just so you know how to fix it either way, okay? So you're gonna take your T20. So you're gonna take your T20 and you're gonna pull your door handle out like this. It's gonna make it easy.
Loosen this until you feel tension.
And then you loosen that until you feel tension. It popped out. It's done. Alrighty. And then this is just as simple as this. It's just going to come out like that. All done. End cap. You're going to have a little gasket on the back. It's going to pop on out. Just go ahead and pull the gasket off. And what he was doing there, if you look down in here, there's going to be a little plug. You're going to pull that out, and there's a little screw in there that you put that T20 in. That's what you're going to loosen it up with. So now, this truck on the back doors does not have the passive entry, so we're going to grab the handle without passive entry. And we're going to grab an end cap without a keyhole in it as well. Okay, don't forget our gasket. So your gasket's going to go on, there's going to be a little tab right there. Just going to slide on in, just like so. You're going to run this wire through here. You'll notice there's some little notches right there. That's where you're going to run your door handle through, just like that. That gasket's not going to want to stay until you get something in it. Just don't pop it in there just yet. Get that in there, get that like that. Alrighty, and we got that on here. So now we just want to tighten it back. You got to put a little pressure on the door handle whenever you're tightening it back up now. So I'm holding the cap and pushing in the door handle just a little bit of pressure, not a ton. Should clamp, should go all the way in like that. Now we're good to go. We got that door handle in. We're going to put this next one in, and then after that we're going to run some wires for you. As now we're doing the front door handle. The front door handle does have passive entry in there, so we're just going to start from the start. We're going to pull this little plug out. You're going to take your T20. You're going to loosen it up. Remember, pull it out just like so. We're just going to loosen that screw until this handle is good to go. All right, so it'll kind of just come out on its own when it's done, okay? So you have that. You're gonna pop your cap off. Don't forget your gasket. We're just gonna set that to the side for now. All right, this one's gonna be a little different. So you're gonna have a wire on this one coming out, okay? So you're gonna come over here. You're gonna pull all this back some. And then you'll see this white plug right here. So you're gonna take this red clip right here, pop it back, and these are not fun to do. And this pulls out right here, okay? So hopefully you have somebody over there if you have that handle hanging out, and then you just pull it all out, pull it on out, pull it on out. Now you're just gonna take the handle, run both wires through, just like so. All right, let me take over on this so I can put the gasket and all in. Now that we have the handle in there, we're gonna put the end cap on and the gasket. Again, we're gonna use another end cap without a keyhole. So I got that in there. Make sure your gasket is nice and flush. Make sure that end cap pops in and is nice and flush, and get some pressure on your door handle. Uh-oh, okay. So this is the problem you may run into. If it does that, I'm not even sure. I guess I just didn't have enough pressure on it. But this is what you're gonna have to do now, okay?
You have to reset the mechanism by going all the way to the right, tightening it first until you feel pressure. Once you feel pressure, then you're going to start all over again as if the door handle was originally on there.
Okay.
So we're at pressure, which
Yeah.
means we're at 0. Now we're going to start all over as if the door handle was originally in there, and we're taking it back off. So what we're going to do is we need to pull the mechanism that we're trying to reset forward.
So this is what we're about to do. If you come over here and you look down in here with this light, see those pieces of metal in there? We're going to take a pick and we're going to pull that metal back, okay? And then once we get that metal pulled back, this really needs to be a 2-person job. It's definitely easier 2-person job. It can be a 1-person job doing that. So he's going to pull this back with a pick. All right, so now once you get somebody pulling it with a pick, you're going to come in here with a flathead. You're going to stick it on the other side of that. All right, just to hold it in the spot it needs to be in. We're resetting the mechanism here manually. All right, now it's holding itself there. Nobody's pulling with a pick or the flathead, so we're good to go. We're ready to restart over like it never happened before. All righty, and once you can feel some resistance in there and you can hear that lever moving in there, you're good to go. Time to rock and roll with it. You got a little bit of glue on there. All right, so now that we actually got the door handles on, we're going to show y'all how to run the extension wires, which is going to be these right here. There's going to be 2 per pack, so one's going to be longer than the other. The longer one needs to go towards the back. The shorter one needs to go towards the front and the front door. All right, so what you want to do is unpack these. Pretty much just put them side by side, see which one's your longer one, see which one's your shorter one. And obviously our shorter one's gonna go up front, so I'm gonna take my shorter one here. I'm just gonna put it up front for now, just so we know that one's goes to the front door. And this back one here, we're gonna put it back here. So both doors, the front door, we already did this just because we had to on that last step of putting the door handle on. But you're going to pull these both back some. And this is what those extensions plug into right here. So you're going to take your extension. You're going to have 2 ends on it. You're going to have a male end and a female end. You're going to use this end right here, plug it in. We're going to take this extension wire and we're just going to put it in the bottom of the door, okay? We want to run all the way to the bottom of the door. That way, when the window rolls down, it does not get caught. And we'll also show you how to secure that when the time being comes. So now what we want to do, pull some more off of here. And we're going to take this extension, we're going to run it through the bottom of our door, and then come over here and you can see our wiring harness boot for our OEM wiring. And we're going to pull it out. We'll show you how to pull that out in just a second, but we're going to pull it out and we're going to run that wire straight through here into the B pillar, into the B pillar, and then we're going to come around here. We'll run it straight down through here, and then we'll show you how to hook all this up into this, and this is where it connects to. So if you look, this back one on the door kind of there's just a grommet in there, it just pops out. This one up here, there's a plastic clip. I'm gonna pop this back in so you can see it. I just like to take a little flathead right here, put it right there on top, push down a little bit, and just pry it out. Don't do it hard, you'll break it. So now what we wanna do is take this and we're gonna run our extension through this. This is gonna be a little difficult, but we can do it. Makes it a little easier if you unplug this as well. It gives you a little working room. There it goes. I think. You pull that clip back, push that down, and it'll just pop on out. Run it through the grommet that you pulled out of the actual door. I'm just going to pull most of my slack out. You don't have to pull all of it, I'm just going to pull most of it. I'm going to keep some slack in there, that way we can get all the wires adjusted in there where we need them. You don't have to do this, but it will make it easier. We're going to de-pin this and pull this connector off right here. That way we can make this transition a lot easier on us, just so we can get it done. You can take a small paper clip, some tweezers. Just gonna push those 2 pins down. And it'll slide right on off. There's some little bitty tabs on there that you're pushing down right there and right there. You just don't want to make sure you don't want to bend them and break them. All right, guys, so we have a tool that makes this job a lot easier. You probably don't have this at home, but Snap-on does sell it. I'm sure Harbor Freight does too. Here is the Snap-on part number if you do want to get it. But this will save you about an hour worth of time having this tool. So you're going to take it. We just put a little dielectric grease on there just to lube it up some. We'll take it, we'll run it through here. Be careful, don't pinch none of your wires. And then we are almost there. It comes out right there. So what you do now is we're just feeding it through at the tube right there. Alrighty, and it's as simple as this right here. Your wires through it. I don't know if any other company makes this, but if they don't, and if you don't like buying Snap-on because it's expensive, this is a tool right here that will save you a ton of time. It's going to be Snap-on, and the model number is going to be WIN-S1R. We're going to pop this back on right here. We're going to take this. Uh-oh, we didn't pop our B-pillar off. Okay, pop that on. Leave this be. And we got to pop our B-pillar off. And our last video we showed you how to pop the top piece of the B-pillar off. This time we're going to show you how to pop the top piece off and the bottom piece. And I'm going to leave it up for Holder to show you how to do that real quick, okay?
Okay guys, what we're going to do is we're just going to pop this kick panel off back here. And then once we do that, it's going to free up our B-pillar. So now that that's freed up, we already got the front one taken apart. You may have to remove this weather stripping. If so, it should just pull up like so, and you should only have to remove it to right here. Once you get that all done, everything that's holding this B-pillar in is just clips. So you may have to use a flathead or a pry tool, whatever's readily available. And then once you get it kind of more open on the side here, you'll be able to see what clips you need to get out. And then you can kind of just give it a little pressure and help them along the way. So we don't have to take it all the way off or all the way apart. We just need to get to where we can see our wires coming through, which is about right here. All right, now that we can see where our wires need to go, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the end of our extension that we have ran through the dust boot. And over here, there is a little gap, and it is just big enough for this wire to fit through. So it's gonna be on your door connection. So right here is our door connection, and we're going to use this gap right here at the top. We're just gonna feed our wire through closest to the connection. We don't wanna be up top, we wanna be closest to the connection. That way, when we go to put everything back together, it all closes seamlessly and creates a watertight gap. Like we said before, make sure we don't got any knots in there or something that's gonna bind us up. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna reinstall our door connection. So it starts from the bottom. We'll Slide it on in there. Make sure your wires aren't getting pinched by it. Then you're gonna hear it click. Put your white connection back in and you're good to go. Pull the extension back in and then we're gonna close our dust boot up. Like I said before, this kind of just clips back in here. Keep it right in the middle. All done. So that's our rear door, and we're gonna feed our wires up through the front. And we're just gonna follow the main wiring harness from the truck all the way up here to under the dash. All right, there we go. We're all ran. Now we can start on our front door. Essentially the same process. We have to remove our door harness. I already have this one unplugged, ready to go. This one is a little bit different. It does have a clip that engages and locks for this door harness to clip. It does not just clip in by itself. This lock right here is what keeps everything together. So you have to pull this back and the whole harness should come out, like so. And we're just gonna pull that down out of the way. So we've connected our front door handle now. We're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna run our wire all the way to the bottom of the door panel. When you're pulling this through, you don't want it tight. You just wanna make sure you got enough slack to where that this wire will stay at the bottom of the door. We'll take our end and feed it through the pass-through. Now we're gonna reinstall all our gaskets. So where this is gonna lead to, it's not gonna be very visible underneath the dash on the inside of the truck, but it is doable. You just have to do a little digging on some gaskets and wiring harnesses. And this is what it should look like when you've got it pulled through on the other side into the cab. Now we're just gonna pull our slack out a little bit. Make sure it doesn't catch the end of the door or anything so we don't yank some wires. And like I stated previously, the bottom of this connection has to go in first. Which is kind of tricky because it's such a tight area. Yep, there we go. Push our clip back in. Check to make sure. You're good to go. Pull it just a little bit tighter so it sits closer to that connection. And then same thing with the gasket. The gasket goes on the bottom first. It's gonna come up top, pop, snap closed. Those are your door handles. Okay guys, now that we've got our wires ran and our door handles connected, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put this door panel back together. So the connection for the front passive entry door handle, we're gonna reconnect that. When it snaps in, we're gonna close our lock. What we're gonna do is we're gonna zip tie our door handle wire for the LED to this, just to get it out of the way and clean everything up. Okay. Careful not to cut your wires. Double check, make sure your wire is at the bottom of the door. We do not want that getting pulled by the window when we go to test. Place your gasket back on. Now we're ready for our door panel. Okay guys, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and reinstall our B-pillar. And it's gonna go back together the same way we took it apart, just all these clips. You just wanna make sure everything is lined up. You don't wanna crush any of these clips when going to reinstall it, which can happen. Now we're going to reinstall this kick panel. Good to go. And we're ready for our door panel now. So here we're going to reinstall our door panel, and we're going to double check and make sure we have no door panel clips inside the door. So they're mainly going to be seen here in blue, and then you have one here and here that'll be white. They're still in the door, and if they're still in the door, that's okay. They're gonna go right back in just fine. But we do have one down here that we have to remove. Pulls right out. going to reinstall it back on the door panel. Right here. And we're just going to reverse the process. So we're going to go connections because that's what we started with. Make sure that's all locked in and ready to go. Put our clip back. Clipped and ready to go. Now we do our door handle. We install it up top, pull it out, pass it through that, and then make sure it clips. And then you want to make sure that your manual lock is in the up position and locked in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top, go over the windowsill. Again, making sure we don't knock down our manual lock. Sometimes what you can do is you can feed it through yourself and then get the door handle to hook. So now we're in. All right, we got the top set. Now the door handle or the door panel will pretty much seat itself. Good here. There you go, reinstall your 7s. And we just reinstall our gasket. We're good to go.
Now that Holder has got everything wrapped up in here, I'm going to show you all how to wire these up. So you're going to take this connector right here, okay, and we're going to go over here anywhere you want, a little workbench inside the vehicle, whatever. You're going to take not just one of your drivers, but 2 of your drivers. Let me unplug it. Okay, there's 2 right here, okay. You're going to get this connector here, and you're going to grab 2 drivers. You're going to have 2 drivers per side, 1 per door handle, okay? Do not bypass these drivers. If you bypass these drivers, you'll burn up an LED handle. So what you want to do, strip those 3 wires back. If you have these wire strippers, it's a lifesaver if you can't tell. Twist your wires nice and tight. And you get these little butt connectors. You can get these from AutoZone, the little heat shrink connectors. Take them, crimp them down. I like to do a double crimp on it just to make sure it's good to go. 2 on each one here. All right, you got that on there? Now you're gonna take your drivers. I pull this off just to get it out of my way. You don't have to. We're going to start with the black wires on these drivers. Also, when you get your drivers, just confirm it says 6-inch on it. If it does not say 6-inch and it's for your door handles, you have the wrong driver. All right, you're going to take these 2 black wires, strip them, twist them, connect them to your black wire on here. Push it on in there. Now just 1 crimp, 2 crimps. Hell, I may even do a 3rd crimp if I got one. And then your orange wires, you're gonna have some little blue tabs on it. Take them, cut them off. Not using them. You're gonna strip these. You're going to connect it to the yellow wire. Crimp, crimp, crimp. And then your 2 whites. Strip them and twist them. I got a little bit too much on here, so I'm going to trim this down a little bit. And we're going to connect it to the red on here. After it's all said and done like that, you take a torch, shrink them up. I'm going to just do this one for now, so so you kind of get an example. Let it cool down. Once it cools down, we're gonna put it in the truck. All right, guys, so we have a lot of different directions here to go. Really, you can start at any of them and it's gonna end up at the same point. I'm gonna start off right here with our extensions that we ran through the door. Remember, we don't have connectors on them. I got our 2 connectors here. So what you wanna do is take these extensions, take a razor blade, and slightly just run it up and slightly just angle it up to get those pins back up where they need to be. If you go too far, you're gonna break that pin and then you're gonna have to straight wire everything. Then you're just gonna slide these back on. Good to go. You want those pins facing up right here. You can hear them snap in. All right, I'm gonna set this to the side just for a minute, okay? I don't want you to worry nothing about that. You're done with that for the most part. All right, so you're gonna get this, and this is not gonna have this connector on it, but I'm just showing you here how to pin this connector. So this little white piece should be sticking up out past this black part. If it is, great. If it's not, you just need to take something in there and pry it up right there to where it is. It may even pop out, it's okay. Okay, so to know where these pins go, you need to take your other connector, the one that you just connected your drivers to, and just set it on there. You ain't got to plug it in, set it on there. And then everything will line up where it needs to go. You'll see red lines up with red, black lines up with black, and then yellow right here lines up with yellow. I left this one unpinned just so I can show y'all how to pin it. So if you look here, there's like a little hump right there. That little hump is going to be for that little pin. So you want to make sure that little pin is faced up. Just going to push it on in there. And you will feel it, you'll feel it click and hear it click once it gets to where it needs to go. Now that all 3 are in there, I'm giving a little tug, not a ton, just a little bit, make sure nothing's pulling out. Once it's not pulled out, you're going to take that, push that down. Once that's done, we're going to plug that in there with our drivers, okay? So now the only thing left that needs to get plugged up are the drivers and the extension wires to the LED door handles. So if I can find the end of it, we're going to take them, and look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure all these black and red wires are lined up together too. So red's on the left, black's on the right. I'm going to do the next one. Red's on the left, black's on the right. So now I'm just going to set all this right here for now before we go any farther. I'm going to turn the headlights on and we're going to just make sure everything works. All right, so now that we have everything plugged up where it should be, we want to just turn our headlights on to make sure our door handles work, which nice and white, they're working, bright. And then we want to turn our blinkers on just to make sure our amber's working. Looks like we plugged up everything correctly. So as long as you follow this video on how to wire it up, you shouldn't have a single issue. Now let's go back and we're going to turn everything off. And now we're going to show you how to just clean up this wiring up a little bit and put back all your plastic trim pieces, which Holder will show you how to do that. And then we'll just show you a couple spots where you need to zip tie the harness in the engine bay and underneath the truck to make sure it don't get in the way. All right guys, now that we tested everything and it's working, we did a little wire management here. We actually put all of our excess extension wire underneath this and where the headlight extension wire was right here for the power. We put it all in here and kind of just ran everything else right here. These drivers can stay right here. The carpet will hold it down. I like to put the drivers somewhere where we can get to them if we ever need to replace them. Very rare one ever goes bad, but if it does, you can get to it very quickly right here underneath your carpet. I think the only other thing you need to do now before you put your carpet down, since you did put a hole there, I would just put a little bitty dab of silicone. Not that it needs it, but it is a new truck, so if we can keep it sealed up, we're going to keep it sealed up as good as we can. That's all you need. This is pretty much good out of the way. I like to keep them right here in the middle. Can't ever fit, you won't even know what's in there. Guys, after you have everything all buttoned up on the inside, I just like to come back here on the outside and zip tie a couple spots. So you got your wire running through here. I'll just zip tie a couple spots on this wiring harness coming down. Get it down as far as you can through there. Make sure you clip your zip ties. Make it nice and clean. We put about 4 of them here on the inside the engine bay. Make sure you clip the zip ties and not any wires too, by the way. All right guys, thanks for watching. If you want any of these LED door handles or plug and play harness, you can buy them all on our website at midsouthled.net. After watching this video and you still don't want to install it, you can always come down here to Mason, Tennessee to us, and we'll be more than happy to install it for you. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.